everyone, welcome to Minnie and Me on the Road. Today I'm going to share with you the expense tracking spreadsheet I've set up for myself and also the free expense tracking spreadsheet that I've set up for you. I'm also going to show you a trick so that you can calculate your daily expenses if you like. I find it a bit of fun to see how low I can keep my daily figure. The day I started my travels was the day that I started tracking my expenses, and it's the first time I've ever tracked all my expenses in my life. I wish that I'd started it earlier because it's really shown me exactly where I spend all my money. It's been quite an eye-opener for me. The first year was a tracking experience. Now that I'm into my second year of tracking, I can compare this year against last year, which is quite interesting and also allows me to see where I can cut expenses. I have a loose budget of $20 a week for gas refills, $50 for fuel, keeping in mind that I do quite slow travel, and $150 for food and expenses. Like I said, it's a very loose budget. Sometimes I spend less, sometimes I spend more. It doesn't include my expenses like car registration, caravan, insurances, any of that. Let's have a look at the spreadsheet I've created for me. So this is my spreadsheet. I update it as I spend money. I try to remember to update it at the time. Other times I just go to my bank account and go through everything that's come out and put it in here. As I'm doing that, I've got this tab here that says Pivot Year 2. If I click on that, it's just a simple pivot table which I've set up. You don't need to know how to do this, and it just calculates each of the different categories. So here I've got date, item, what I spent the money on, the category, which are drop downs, and the cost. And then I come across here, click anywhere and right click and go refresh, and it will update all the figures for me. So this is my total spend to date, and my budget starts on the 1st of February each year, and here I have set up a formula that just puts in today's date. And the reason I've done that is I want to know what my daily spend is. So this is a formula that calculates this. Take the date that I set my spreadsheet up, so I've had this spreadsheet running now for 25 days, and then all this is number of days divided by total spend, which brings me to $87 a day. And then weekly is just rough. It's just the 87 times by 7 to give me a rough weekly spend. And then this here is the weekly spend for each category for last year. And then this here, all it is this minus this, and is it less or more? And if it's less, it highlights it green. If it's more, it highlights it yellow, so I can see at a glance if I'm overspending or underspending compared to last year. So that's how I do mine. It's just a bit of fun and just keeps me on track. So let me show you the one that I've set up for you. I've tried to keep it really simple in case you're not very familiar with Excel. So you've got 3 tabs down the bottom here. The first tab is travel costs, where you enter all your expenses as you spend them. Just enter in the date, the item, the category. So here are categories that I use: accommodation, activities, entertainment. I think they're all pretty self-explanatory. Then you just add in cost and any notes. If you do want to change any of the categories to be more for you, you just come to this tab here that says categories, and you can just change them in here, or add a couple extras down here, or delete those. And then once you've done that, it'll appear in this drop down, As you're entering expenses, let's add in some chocolate under the groceries category, and it was $5. And then we've got some takeaway, and you can start typing and it will pick it up, and then you hit the down arrow and tab across, and that one cost us $30. And then on the 2nd of the 2nd, we might have done our laundry, and that cost us $15. And then we might have had to pay some insurance, and a car caravan insurance, and that one might have cost us $50. So as you're entering these, then you can come across to travel cost summary, and you click where it says blank and then right click there and go refresh, and it will add all that up for you. So if we add another grocery line, 2nd of the 2nd, and we bought some chips under groceries category, and it was $10. If we go back to travel cost summary and refresh this, right click refresh, you see groceries is now $15, which it just calculates the 5 and the 10, and they're both under that groceries category. So I find it works really well, so I can see where I'm spending most of my money. If you do want to calculate a daily rate like I've done, you would enter in the date that you start your expense spreadsheet. Now I'm going to put a date that's prior to today so you can see how it works. So let's put the 20th of the 2nd, 24. So let's say you started it on the 20th of February, and then in the next cell you're going to put an equal sign, type the word today, do brackets, and just hit enter, and that will always calculate today's date for you. Then you're just going to click in another cell, do equals, and you're going to click on the today's date minus the date that you started your spreadsheet, and hit enter, and then it will let you know that you've had your spreadsheet running for 6 days. Once you've got that, you can actually do another equals somewhere. Let's do an equals there. Click on your grand total, do the divide, which looks like that. Click on the number of days and just hit enter. And then as this grand total updates, and as your days that you've got your spreadsheet running updates, this daily rate will change every day. You may have to just come in here, right click and go refresh, and you can actually do a daily rate for each item as well if you like, which is what I've done, but I mostly just keep an eye out for the total daily rate, because I know that the last 12 months it was about $160 I spent a day, averaged over the 12 months, so I'm trying to keep it way under that for this 12 months. I hope you find that helpful. I hope that makes sense. I know everybody's got different levels of experience with Excel. If you have any questions, please ask in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Like I said, I'll include in the description field how you can access this spreadsheet for yourself. And yeah, it's really great to know where you're spending your money, because it just makes you more aware. If you have found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you again for watching.